Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about how to prepare for the upcoming holiday season if you're an Etsy seller or a small business owner, or you even have your own website. I've been selling on Etsy and on my own website for the last 5 or so years, and every single holiday season I have learned something that can benefit or help me for the next year and the next year. So I want to be able to share some of those tips and tricks and things that I've learned to make a successful holiday season. And I'm sure you know, if you've sold online at all or you have any experience with selling, that the biggest time of the year to sell is around the holidays. People are always shopping online during the holidays, and so that's the time that you definitely need to put a lot of effort in your shop, just depending on what you sell. You might not even have things around the holidays to sell, but I'd say pretty much the majority of shops can implement some kind of holiday item. Today we're going to be talking about timelines, stockpile, social media, research, shipping and deadlines, and kind of how to mentally prepare for the holiday season and just get you ready and geared up for a successful holiday season. So let's go ahead and get on into these tips. Okay, so we're going to first start by talking about the timeline. So how early do you need to start preparing for the next holiday season? So what I have come to find is always be a season ahead. So if it is summer, you're going to work on fall. If it's fall, you're going to be working on Christmas. If it's Christmas, you're going to be working on Valentine's Day, and so on and so on. So I say giving yourself about 2 months in advance of a launch. So if it is now July and I'm about to launch my fall and Halloween stuff, so I'd say give yourself about a 2-month grace period to be gearing up for the next holiday. And you know, it never hurts to be too close to the holiday, but it does hurt if you're too far away. So if you're launching your Christmas stuff in like May or June, it's a little early, and people a lot of times aren't even thinking Christmas, they're thinking fall. So I don't like to jump ahead and get items for Christmas ready before fall. I'll try and do fall first, and along with fall, I'll usually do my back to school stuff. So it's July, I'm gonna go ahead and launch my back to school stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and launch my fall stuff. So that's kind of where I am with it, and I would recommend that to you, but figure out what works for you. But I've come to find usually a couple months early is good. I've already started to get sales for a couple of the fall things that I've just kind of kept all year round in my shop. It's just a couple decals. They're already starting to sell, so that kind of gives me an idea that it is time to go ahead and launch the fall collection. So that's where I'm at with timelines. Okay, next let's talk about stockpiles. So how many items do you need to prepare for the season? And this is gonna vary from shop to shop. Like what works for me might not work for you, but I'll share with you guys what I do. So everything that I make is made to order. My wood signs, my ornaments, Santa plates, all that stuff is made to order. I don't make anything in advance. But what I do is I make sure that I have enough of the items needed to make a bunch of products. I know that for sure. Wood signs, I do still sell a good bit around the holidays, but my big sellers are like my ornaments and all those things. So what I do is go and buy up enough wood and enough things that I make signs for several months that I'm comfortable with making. I don't want to go overboard. I'm only one person. I don't have any employees or anything like that. So I get enough that I know I can handle. And then with ornaments and things like that, I will buy usually a bunch, because I've come to find for the last about 4 years, I've consecutively sold my ornaments like crazy. They have done very well for me. So I know that I'm gonna definitely probably do well with those this year. So I'll get a bunch of those, and I might kind of tweak them to kind of go along with the trends and different things this year, but I know that those will do well for me, so I know to get a lot of those. But if it was, say, a couple years ago, what I would do is I would just go to the store and buy as I went. I would just kind of get enough to last me for a little bit, and then as sales came in and I was getting pretty good sales with them, I would just go and buy more. And that's kind of how I've handled it throughout the years. So just getting what you can handle at that time is probably a good way to start. And for example, like my mason jars that I sell, I do tissue holders. I could only find like 3 cases of them. So that's all I have of those. And if I can find more, I'll buy more. But there's certain items that I kind of buy a little bit of, and there are some items that I'll make sure I kind of go as much as I can fit in my house, and as much as I can, you know, mentally do for myself or physically do for myself. It's gonna be one of those things that you're just gonna have to play around with and figure out your first year. If this is your first year selling, what works for your business, what doesn't work for your business, how much space you have, finances, all of that stuff plays a factor in all of this. So that's the best advice I can give with stockpiling. Okay, now let's talk about research. So when you're researching, trying to figure out what you want to sell each holiday season, you're going to want to think of a few things. So what would I purchase as a buyer? What is trending right now? And how can I take those trending items and twist it into my holiday themed things? So you guys know, for example, leopard print is super popular right now. I'm starting to see a lot of leopard print and a lot of the fall items, even in the Christmas items. I'm seeing things like that everywhere. So I know if I know leopard print's popular, then I know if I added leopard print something to my holiday theme that they would probably do well. So that's kind of something that you need to think about when you're doing your research. Research is so important when you're trying to plan out for the holidays, and it's something I definitely implement with my holiday research. And I know that right now, if you're researching for Christmas, you're probably not going to find a whole lot, but what you can do is figure out trends and all of that good stuff, so you can kind of tie that into your products. What did well last year? How can you implement last year to this year? Go through the department stores and see what is, they're starting to put out their fall things. What are you seeing within the trends with their fall items, and what can you make? Can you make something similar to that? So that's what I do, and that's kind of what I implement with my research. And that's usually the first thing that I will do when I am trying to figure out what to sell each holiday season. Okay, next let's talk about promotion and social media. Okay, so promotion and social media is a big deal because it is how you gear your audience up for whatever you're selling for the fall. And something I've recently started doing is kind of having like a collection launch. So I'm gonna have a fall collection. It's a bunch of new items. And I'm going to launch it on a certain day. It's actually coming up really soon. So I'm going to have a fall launch, and I'm just getting my customers ready for it. I'm posting about it on social media, just kind of hinting at it and maybe showing sneak peeks and getting things ready. So before you launch a collection, definitely get your audience ready for it. Pay for Facebook ads, y'all. Facebook ads, you can utilize those Facebook ads and definitely get some good returns from that, because you can kind of gear it towards certain audiences and certain people, and I like it. So that's what I've been kind of implementing lately. So just kind of getting your audience ready on social media, I would definitely make it a big deal. I would even change your branding slightly to kind of go with the themes of the holidays. So like adding little pumpkins or just fall colors if you want. You don't have to, but I've noticed, like, I don't know if you guys are the same way, but if I see like a post about fall, because I love fall, if I see the pictures that go around that are talking about fall and it shows the fall colors and snuggling up on the couch with a blanket, drinking pumpkin spice stuff, like that kind of gets me in the fall spirit. So if you do that with your branding, it kind of attracts buyers and makes people want to purchase from you more. So that's something I definitely recommend doing. It's just kind of getting your social media ready for it. So important. Okay, next let's talk about shipping and deadlines. So this is another one of those big deals when it comes to the holidays. And with the shipping supplies, I would definitely recommend getting everything prepared for shipping. I go through so much shipping supplies around the holidays: tape, boxes, bubble wrap, because I'm shipping a lot of glass and fragile things. So that is something I do go out and spend quite a bit of money on, is packaging stuff. So you're gonna want to make sure you do prepare for that. And the worst case scenario is you do have leftovers. If it doesn't do as well as you'd like, you can always use that stuff throughout the year. So I go out and spend a lot of money on shipping supplies because I know I'll need them. And usually I don't get enough. So this year, something I'm definitely gonna do better is getting more shipping stuff and being prepared for that, because I know that I'm gonna use a lot. So what items you'll need, it really does depend on what you sell. For me, boxes, bubble wrap, the brown paper for my wood signs. And I actually use that brown paper to kind of as a stuffing in between my boxes to keep things from jumbling around. So I'll get the boxes for free, usually off of USPS.com. I'll also go out and buy certain boxes that fit other things. I use for my ornaments, I get certain boxes to put my ornaments inside of, so I know that I'll need a lot of those. Just things like that. Just whatever you normally sell or whatever you normally use, you'll need that if you're selling the same items. But if you're selling different things, like for example me and ornaments, I know I'll need specific shipping things. So go ahead and start thinking in your mindset, what will I need to package this? And if you don't know how to package it, research. Go on YouTube, I'm sure there's a video on it, how to package this or how to do this. And just make sure you're prepared for that, because I think that is something that I wasn't really prepared for the previous years, and I would never get enough, and I would always have to make like a last minute trip to the store to get shipping supplies when I could have got it cheaper somewhere else. I would have to go run and get it somewhere. So prepare for that and you won't regret it. Okay, so now piggybacking off of shipping, let's talk about deadlines. So when it comes to deadlines, you're going to want to make sure you cut your items off at a good time frame, because there's always going to be those last minute customers that order it and they expect it 2 days later, and it doesn't work like that. So what I've always done every single year is I usually cut my items off and deactivate those listings within a reasonable time frame. So you're going to want to factor in like how long does the shipping take, the transit and all that good stuff. So you're going to think about that. So for Christmas, for example, I cut all of my Christmas items. I actually did activate all of my listings on December, usually the 12th, the 10th, the 12th, the 15th, something around there, because you're going to have those customers that are last minute trying to place orders, and you don't want them to be disappointed. And I know last year, shipping was crazy, as I know a lot of you know. So I think I even cut it off even earlier last year because I didn't want to run into any problems. So that's what I do around Christmas. Now fall, I'll usually just deactivate the stuff. But sometimes people purchase pumpkin things around November for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So usually I'll kind of keep that going a little bit longer. But certain things I'll cut off if you know it's specific to Halloween. You don't want to keep your Halloween stuff beyond Halloween. Things like that. So kind of think logistically about it, and think about how long it would take if the customer was to purchase it and you were to make it. Would they really get it in time if they purchased it beyond this date? So that's usually what I will do. So if it's a Halloween item, I'll cut it off, let's say maybe a week before Halloween, stuff like that. So I hope that helps with that. So let's talk a little bit about managing your time and staying sane during these crazy holiday rushes. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. In past years, I have drove myself crazy. I've not eaten enough. I've skipped meals. I've worked all night long. I have just felt crazy. And when you don't get rest and you don't take good care of yourself, you're not mentally there and you can't do your best work. So I would definitely recommend to you guys, and things that I've, even up to last year, I was still at that point. So this year I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to be afraid to change some things. So for my situation, what I'm going to do and what I'm going to prepare is make sure I follow my own tips and things that I've told all of you guys. I'm going to prepare all of my products early, make sure I have enough products so I don't have to go out and buy things in the middle of the day, and get all of my items ready and prepared. I think that will help. I'm not going to be afraid to ask for help. If I need to hire somebody or if I need somebody to watch my children, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be afraid to increase my pricing, even if it's in the middle of the season. I had to do that last year with a couple items, but I'm not going to be afraid to do so, because increasing your prices can slow sales, but it'll keep sales coming in. So that's a good way to do things. If you start getting really crazy in the middle of the season, you can kind of increase your pricing a little bit. That's something I plan on doing. And then just being able to say it's okay to take breaks when needed. If you need to take the weekend off, remaining on a strict schedule, which is what I'm going to really try and do this year, working from this hour to this hour and trying not to just binge all my orders into one day and try and hurry and get them all done. That's really not a good way to do it, because then you crash at the end. So staying on a consistent routine schedule, setting easy to meet deadlines, not trying to get your orders out in a day, just realistically getting your mind ready for that and getting your self ready, because it can be a lot. And I'm going to be honest, it really can. And if your business does take off, it's going to get like this, because like I said before, it is the craziest time of the year for Etsy sellers and shop owners. There's a lot of people shopping online in the holidays. So just be ready and be prepared. And if you don't get those sales and it doesn't happen, all you got to do is just go back to square one, research, figure out why it's not working. Is it your pricing? Is it your photos? What could it be? And just keep working at it, guys, because it's all a learning process and it's okay. My first year, I felt successful about it, but looking back, it was, nothing like it is now. So don't compare yourself to other sellers out there and seeing how many orders they're getting out in a day, because what they're going through in their family life situation might be completely different from yours. You might have 10 kids and you might be a single mom. You might be by yourself. So don't compare yourself to other people, because you have no clue what they're going through and what's happening in their life and what they have to deal with. So I just want to say that, you guys, just stay positive, remain hopeful, and just do your best, and don't drive yourself crazy like I do every year. So now I just got to take my own advice and follow those. So I think I will do that this year. All right, guys, so I'm pretty sure that wraps it up for the tips that I have about preparing and getting ready for the holiday season, and I hope that you learned something out of this. And I also got a question. Someone asked, what's your favorite part about being a business owner? And I will have to say that being able to be creative and be able to create things that people are going to be having in their homes around the holidays or gifting to their loved ones, something they're excited about, that is the coolest thing to me. And I'd say that's definitely one of my favorite things about being a business owner. Well, that and the flexibility of working from home. Even though I will be honest, guys, this time of the year can be the most stressful for Etsy sellers. So just try and be prepared as you can, and just take it easy and don't overstress yourself, because that's something that's definitely not good for your mental health. And take breaks and take time for yourself. That's the best advice I can give for you guys. And I wish all of you a very successful holiday season this year. Let's make it the best yet. Let's make it the most profitable yet. I'm really excited, and I hope that you guys are too. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.